Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to day one, guys. Welcome to day one. Yay! It is a pleasure to have you all here. I am Miss Gray. I will be your instructor for this course and a couple other courses later on in the program. I thoroughly enjoyed reading everyone's discussion posts, introducing yourselves, and um, just getting to learn a little bit more about you guys. So thank you for that. Uh, More on the discussions. This discussion is set up a little bit differently. And so it's set up as a Q&A. So what that means is that you have to uh, post your uh, response to my post first, and then you have to wait and see everyone's response. I'm working on the background, guys, trying to override some settings in Moodle so that you can see the replies immediately. Okay, that way you don't have to wait that 30 minutes. So bear with me. If I can't override those settings, then I'll go and revert back to the settings that you had seen during orientation. Okay. If you posted and you were not able to get your reply in to your classmate, no problem. No problem. Okay. I give a little bit of grace for the first week, first day. It was a little wonky with the auto enrollment. So, all that to say, guys, as long as you communicate with me, as long as you send me emails, I will never penalize you. Okay. I understand that this is online. Technology sometimes does what it wants to do, not what we require it to do or instruct it to do. Um, so I do give some grace. But the biggest thing is, guys, is that just to communicate, send me an email. Okay, so I did get all of your emails that you were not able. Some of you were not able to immediately respond to a classmate. That is okay. Go ahead at the end of lecture, jump in. If you weren't able to put in that reply, go ahead and do so after class. And no harm. I will not dock you any points for being late, and I'll get those points into Judgy sometime in the evening, this afternoon, in the evening. I'm pretty quick with grades turnaround time, so you guys will see your grades updated pretty quickly. Um, so it's very important. If you're late or if you miss something, send me an email. Okay. Any questions on the discussion forum? No questions. Okay. I do want to respond. Some of you guys were interested in why I changed my major and what happened. Some of you guys changed your major mid-course. Some of you are doing an entire career change, which is very exciting too. So for me, guys, many years ago, many moons ago, a long time ago, while I was a freshman, at the university. I did enroll as a nursing major. I was in the nursing program. I was taking nursing courses. And in order to get into the university that I was in, you were selected on a point system, very similar to what you guys had to do. You guys had to take an entrance exam. You guys had to interview with us, and all of those points were tallied, and then you were all selected, which is why you're all here. So long story short, I had my nursing assistant license, and I was actually working in the hospital. And for me personally, I wanted that one-on-one time. I wanted to engage with my patients. I wanted to not be rushed. And I felt that nursing, I didn't get that opportunity. And so working with physicians and working with other nurses in case management, I was introduced to radiology and MRI, and that was it. I fell in love immediately. I didn't know at the time there was a lot of physics. You guys will soon find out there are a lot of physics. Okay. I wasn't the greatest. Um, and it took time, but now I love it. And I'm pretty good at it, and I love it. I want to say, give your guys yourselves some grace. Okay. It's going to be tough. You can do it. It is going to be tough. With that being said, again, congratulations on getting into the program. It is truly a pleasure of mine to have you all here and to be your instructor. I generally take every single one of you as my own personal students, one-on-one. So I do want to have engagement. I do want to hear from you. Don't be shy to come off the microphone. ask me questions. I'm big, guys, on explaining things in a different way. What do I mean by that? The sky is blue. We can all agree that the sky is blue, right? Some instructors or some people will say the sky is sky blue. Some may even say cyan, right? We all know that we're talking about the sky, and we all know that it's technically blue. In MRI, there are 10 different ways to say the same thing. I don't know why. You've got physicists, you've got engineers, you have physicians, you have doctors with their PhD. They all say it in a little bit of a different way. So all this to say, be patient with yourselves. If something doesn't quite make sense, feel free to stop me and say, hey, can you explain that differently? Or can you maybe word it a little bit differently? Okay. This program will be the hardest, most rewarding experience of your life. It will be the hardest, most rewarding experience of your life. I have my bachelor's in MRI. I had 4 years to study MRI. And I felt after those 4 years, it wasn't enough. What are you guys doing? You guys are doing this in 18 months. You're taking an associate 2-year degree and you are accelerating that at lightning speed, 18 months. Okay. With that being said, guys, we move very fast, and it's very important that you stay on top of attending lecture, completing your assignments on time. Why? If you're late on an assignment, we've already moved on, right? We've already moved on topics. We've already moved on with the concepts. Okay. And so it can be very easy to fall behind. You guys, at the end of this program, you will be the most rewarded. Okay. Because you have a career in MRI. Very exciting. Your GE courses. Did everyone log into their GE courses? Any problems with logging into GE?
I had a quick question.
Yes.
On the GE courses, when they had given me the class schedule, the only one that popped up was biology basics, but I did have the transfer credits from my prior schooling. Is that what that means?
That's probably what that is, Andrea. Let's make sure though. So if you can send me a personal email, that way we can look at it on the back end, because I would hate for you to maybe not be assigned a GE course and you actually, in fact, do need it. But logically, if you transferred in and you submitted your transcripts, you probably already received credit for that, which is why you're not in the algebra and the other courses.
Yeah, because I was like, wait, I took biology already, but they only enrolled me in bio basics, even though I had like the bio, the anatomy, and all the other stuff. And I'm like, do I need this? Do I not need this?
Yeah, let's check. Send me an email. That way we can do the legwork on the background to make sure that your credits were transferred and assigned correctly and that you've got the right courses.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, no worries. Okay, guys, with the GE courses, you guys are in an associate's program. An associate program. What that means is your GE courses are just as important as the MRI. If you don't pass your GE courses, you cannot progress through the MRI program. Does that make sense? You've got to do and equally weight your GE with this class and your MRI classes, okay? Every instructor is different, just like any college or any university. And every class is different, just like any class or any university, right? And so it takes a little bit of time to get the hang of it, to see what the course expectations are, what the instructor requires you to do, what your weekly tasks are. My best advice, guys, if you have a full load, make sure that you have a checklist, a weekly checklist. Okay. List your course. This is what's due. This is when it's due. And as you complete that, check it off. It is very easy to get lost in the sea of classes and in the sea of assignments. And well, this instructor does it this way and this instructor does it this way. And I don't want you guys to get lost or fall behind. Does that make sense? Okay. Are we ready? Not yet, not yet. We're not jumping into the material just yet. Hold on. Okay. Let's go to the general form. In Moodle, your left hand side, the general forum. This is huge for me. Okay. This is very, very important. I will post in here important information that either came up after our lecture or I wanted to add to lecture. Um, Anything important is going to go here. Okay, so I ask that you guys periodically check this because if I post important information and you say I didn't get it or I didn't know, I can't excuse that. Okay, so please check this. This is my only way to communicate with you guys, right? You guys are all far away, and this is the best way that I can communicate with you. Some of you may have turned off your settings. You have the option to turn off notification settings. Okay, I encourage you not to do that because you could miss something important. Okay, so please make sure you check this. Office hours, the link directly below. When you click on that link, you're going to have the option to schedule office hours with me. Okay, you'll be able to click one of these times that works best for you and schedule time with me. What if there's a time not listed on the calendar that you have to meet with me? That's the only time you have available. Send me an email. I would do everything I can to work my schedule around accommodating your schedule to make sure that you get some time in with me. Okay. I do teach other classes. And so you won't see, as you can see my calendar here, it is not completely opened yet because I will be in lecture in the other courses. But again, I will do everything I can to make sure that I meet with you guys. How many of you guys have explored Moodle? Have you guys looked in Moodle? So if you've taken online courses and you've had Canvas, it's different, right? It's a little bit different on where to find things. Some of you are saying yes, very different. Please explore. Please look around and explore. You guys all did fantastic with emailing me with the discussions. If anything doesn't seem right, you can't find something, even in your GE courses, please send me an email. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Um, you mentioned the notifications. Is there a way to turn on the notifications for the just for the general forum or more specifically and not get all the Moodle notifications? I don't know if I'm
Yeah, that I don't know. Is it Ty?
yes.
Yes. So Ty, what's difficult too from a distance is that your guys's Moodle view is going to be a little bit different than mine. And because I'm the instructor, I have different bells and whistles essentially, right? That I can see that you may not
Right,
see.
right.
So I encourage you to send an email to Moodle Help. And I can do the same thing. If you want to include me on the email, we can work on it
Okay.
together to see if it's an option to pick and choose which
Yeah.
notifications you want on, because I know that that would definitely be helpful.
And I can try to explore it myself, which I haven't done yet. I just wasn't sure if that was a thing or not. I just wanted to check.
From my understanding in past classes, I think it's an all or nothing. You won't be able to kind of
That's what
pick
I
and
thought.
choose. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an all or nothing. We recently had a Moodle update last quarter, which I haven't been able to explore all of the components to that update. So maybe, Ty, maybe they did, but I'm willing to, if you want to include me on that email, I'll do some digging with you to
Okay.
see if we can make sure that we can do that.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I have
Okay.
a question.
Yeah.
I logged in like 2 minutes after 9. I don't know if you already went over this, but for the discussion, I was not able to see people's replies. It was weird. So I just went on the general forum and replied there. I don't know if that's okay or if you saw that.
That is okay. So that you bring up a good point, Diana. Thank you. Um, if something is not working right? Well, we just explained the technology. Get something in so I can timestamp that. Okay. So if you're like, well, I wasn't able to post like it showed, but I was able to still reply to yours, I have that timestamp recorded and I can use that to excuse, it not quite working the way we had intended it to do. So you guys, you did the right thing. Make sure you post somewhere to say, hey, I posted. It may not be in the right spot, may not be in the right way, but that way I can record that.
That's kind of what I went based off of, because like I was waiting like, 20, 30 minutes, and like it wasn't letting me through my phone or through the computer. So I was like, you know what? Like I just need to reply somewhere to make sure that it's there, because then
Yes.
that way I could be like, hey, like, but yeah,
Yes,
cool.
absolutely. There are some settings too, guys, that I've enabled to accept most file formats. But if you are using a format that's not recognizable by Moodle when you're submitting your assignments, it won't allow you to submit it. Send me an email at that point, right? If you have any technical difficulties with any submissions, you're going to send me an email to say, hey, here's my assignment. For whatever reason, I wasn't able to upload it. Here it is, right? Same thing. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I thought you were done. I was just gonna say, how do you want to be addressed? Do you want us to like, refer to you as like Professor Gray, Mrs. Gray, like?
Honestly, guys, I'm completely open. I know that I don't know if Mike is here, our didactic director. Mike likes to, and I do too, like to emphasize the professional forum, right? The professional class as a whole. And so he prefers the professor. Believe it or not, I'm still in school working on my master's to get my doctorate. So you can Miss Gray is fine. Yes. So thank you for asking. Some instructors and Mike may prefer professor, but yeah, I'm open, guys. As long as it's nice. As long as it's nice. Okay, let's see, 9:17. Let's do something really quickly. Let me take attendance, okay? And then I want to talk about attendance with you guys for a minute. We've got a couple more things we have to cover, and then we'll be able to jump into the lecture material. When I call your name, if you can just come off the mic and say here, give me a wave so I can record your attendance here. Diana Figueroa, that is, yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. We are being recorded, guys. All classes will be recorded. And I'll go into that with the attendance and accreditation in just a moment. Michelle Gonzalez.
Here.
Beautiful. Thank you. Natalie Gonzalez.
Here.
Thank you. I've got Bardo Gonzalez Lopez.
Good morning.
Good morning. Vincent Jensu.
Here.
How do I say your last name?
Hansoy.
Jansori. Okay. I apologize for that mispronunciation. Ruslan Captor.
Here.
Russ, you prefer Russ? I see
Yeah.
your name. Okay. Let me make a note of that. Harleen Kaur.
Here. Sorry.
Thank you. Justin Kim.
Here.
Thank you. Andrea Murillo.
Here.
Thank you. Last name is Nguyen.
Here.
Hi. I've got a couple names. What would you prefer as your first name?
Bao.
Bao? Okay,
Yes.
Let me write that down. I may have more than one. I do. Is it Feng Vo? Ni Feng Vo?
It's me. Here.
Okay, thank you. Is it Ni? Did I say that correctly? Okay, perfect. Actually, guys, I've got 3 Nguyens. So bear with me. With all my classes, I've got over 130 students. So bear with me. I want to make sure that I get your names correct. Ty, I've spoken with Ty. Where are you,
Yeah.
Ty? Thank
Right here.
you.
Yep.
Tiana Powell.
Here.
Thank you. Shayna Reed.
Here.
Thank you. Crystal Ubias. Is Crystal
Here.
here? Okay. Ashley Valero.
Here.
Thank you. Fasil Abay.
Here.
Fasil. Thank you. Is it Jamaica?
Yeah, here.
Thank you. Tahani.
Here.
Thank you. Yao Browse. Yao. Maribel Castellan.
Here.
Perfect. Megan Chung. Megan Chung.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Vivian Duong. I think I saw Vivian earlier.
Here. Here.
Thank you. Riley Enos.
Here.
Thank you. Calvin Fan.
Here.
Bryden Fong.
Here.
Good morning. Edmund General.
Here.
Thank you, guys. Gianna Guro.
Here.
Thank you. Michael Huang.
Here.
Thank you, guys. Almost done, guys. Isabel Jimenez.
Here.
Thank you. Nicholas Wong.
Here.
Thank you. Anthony Navarro.
Here. Morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Bao Nguyen. We've got David Nguyen.
Here.
David, stay after class for me, please. Want to chat with you for just a minute.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. Almost, guys. I've got Ortiz.
Here.
Ortiz, yes, thank you. Michael Puck.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Gabriel.
Here.
Sydney.
Here.
Sydney, can you also stay after class?
Yes.
Thank you. Yadari. Yadira. Sandoval.
Yadira. Here.
Dear, thank you. Sorry about that. Yolina? Yoliana?
Here, Yoliana. Yeah.
Yoliana, thank you. Sorry about that. Elizabeth.
Here.
Elizabeth, you here?
Yeah, here. Can you-
Okay, thank you. Sorry, your volume was a little bit low. Monica Vasquez
Here.
and Jason Vo.
Here.
Thank you. Good morning, guys. Zainab.
Here.
Thank you. Isaias Avalos. Isaiah Savalos, give you guys a minute to come off the mic. Are you here? Kenneth Jervius.
Right here, man.
Thank you. Jada Leverett. Jada Leverett. Sydney Sylvester.
I'm sorry. I think there's two Sydneys. I said here earlier, but I think I said here at the wrong
Yeah,
time.
I think so
I'm
too.
sorry.
So no worries. So I've got a Sydney Royster so you are Sydney Sylvester, yes.
Did you still want me to stay after class, or was that the other?
No, that was the other. So give me just
Okay.
1 second. Let me switch you guys real quick. So no, you do not have to stay after. You are all good. And do I have Alyssa Lozano? Okay, thank you guys. I typically will not call roll call and attendance every class. Okay, this was our first class. So I wanted to just make sure that our mics work, our cameras are working, and that I'm able to check in with you guys. Let's touch on the attendance. I may check that attendance randomly, periodically, to make sure that you guys are all here, to confirm that you guys are, you've got your cameras on and you're participating. So let me go into that a little bit. We are on an online course, right? And so attendance is heavily tracked and scrutinized, meaning you've got to be here, you've got to have your cameras on, you can't be driving in your car, you can't be at work. The reason why, I mean, for obvious reasons, I don't want you guys driving and trying to pay attention in class, but the obvious reasons, guys, is our accreditation. Our accreditation, meaning the people that allow us to have an online course, okay? The credentialing body, the people that said, yes, we've looked at your program, you guys can have an online course. These are the things you have to have in order to have a class. And the biggest thing is attendance and participation. You guys with me on that? Attendance and participation. I'm able to track when you log into Moodle. I'm able to track when you submit your assignments, when you're looking at things. All of that data is reviewed by the accreditation body when we're evaluated annually. So it's very important that we cross our T's and dot our I's. We're logging in, we're getting our work done. And if for some reason we're not able to submit something, like I mentioned before, please send me an email so I can have that timestamp recorded to where I can go to bat for you and back you guys up if there are any technical glitches and you guys are maybe outside of the late policy, okay? With that being said, attendance is recorded, and I'm going to actually let's open it up and then we'll go back to that. The attendance policy. I understand if life happens, right? We can get a flat tire, on our way home or running from the grocery store, and you have to be logged into class at 9 a.m. Please, please, please send me an email in any situation that you are not able to come to class. Please note that, though, if you miss 3 classes, you'll be put on academic probation, and your 4th absence, you will be dropped from the program. Okay? Like I said, the attendance is huge. You've got to be here, and you have to turn in your work. The reason why we have to have you submit your work and your attendance is to give you guys credit for completing this course. It requires a certain amount of hours of doing on-task, hands-on task assignments, discussions, and quizzes, along with coming to class. Any questions on attendance?
Hey, yeah, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Mainly regarding being late or like a dropped call. Like I was in orientation and my Wi-Fi dropped. I was able to get back in, but are we like penalized on getting, dropped due to Wi-Fi issues or maybe running late?
You're not heavily, I'm not going to heavily penalize you guys, but if we have it happen every week, then we run into a problem, right?
Yeah,
So if I get an email every week, my Wi-Fi is not working, I can't come to class, then we're both in trouble, right? At that point. So I understand technology, like I said in the beginning, it doesn't always work the way it's supposed to work. Please send me a screenshot of whatever error code you're getting and send me an email. You got to give me everything I can to back you up, because my first job is to support you guys, and I'm going to go to bat for you, right? I have rules that I have to follow as your instructor. again, accreditation rules, administrative rules. My bosses will pop in from time to class, not to penalize me, but to make sure that the program is running the way it needs to be ran. With that being said, I'm always going to go to bat for you, but I need you to go work with me. I need you to send me a screenshot of the error code you're getting. We have to troubleshoot it. If you can't access a quiz and you try to access the quiz at 11 p.m. when it closes at 11:59 p.m. and you send me an email, I don't have Wi-Fi, but you send it to me the day after, you don't give me a lot of room to work, right? You don't give me a lot of opportunities to troubleshoot. So I will not heavily penalize. Thank you. That was a great question. Just make sure that you guys on your end are doing what you need to do so that I can support you, right? I will say Moodle is sometimes touchy. Proctorio is the built-in application where you guys are going to have to download the plugin in order to take a quiz. Your quizzes are recorded. Your weekly quizzes are recorded. Your midterm and your final is recorded. Okay. The screen recording is there. You have to scan your desk. All of that is to ensure that we maintain academic integrity, that the credentialing body, when they audit the class, can see, oh, I saw this student taking the exam. There's definitely no cheating. We get flags, right? We get notifications if your face is not in the camera, if you didn't scan your desk, if you had people talking to you in the background, okay? I would be devastated if you guys were flagged for cheating or academic dishonesty and you guys were removed from the program. I take it personally and I don't want that to ever happen. Andrea, go ahead.
Actually, I had a question on that. For the orientation part of Proctorio, I completed it, but it doesn't show as completed. And I know that when we did the orientation last week, they said just bring it up in today's Zoom. So I was wondering if that's something you could help me with later.
Yes, send me an email just so, because I don't want to take up the whole class time. So yes, Andrea, if you want to even stay after class too, we can troubleshoot it immediately. Yes, Ty, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question about Proctorio. Are you allowed to use a desktop computer for quizzes and exams? Because I know I think you're supposed to like rotate the laptop to see the whole room, but what if it's a desktop?
Ty, if it's desktop, let's see. Are you able to do you have like you don't have like a detachable camera? I'm assuming it's kind of built into the frame of the.
No, it's just a big Mac. It's
okay, so I know the Mac you can kind of swivel the main screen.
I can move it, but I don't think I can do 360 degrees.
Yeah. Go ahead and do your best. I will review it, see if I get any flags.
Okay.
And then yeah.
And then my other question is, I do have a laptop, but this space I'm in right now, the desk that my laptop's sitting on, my desktop is on it. So if I'm doing the room with my laptop and it shows my desktop screen on the desk where my laptop is that going to be an issue?
I don't see an immediate issue. The biggest thing too, Ty, is yes, they kind of want a 360 of your room, but it's more your desk. They want to make sure that there's no materials to where you can cheat, any class notes or textbooks.
Yeah. So my concern is that because I have a computer screen right behind my laptop, I potentially could use it, though I'm not going to, but it is on the desk that I use.
If I'm being completely transparent, guys, I'm not telling you all of the bells and whistles on Proctorio, but believe it or not, it tracks your eye movement. It tracks whether you deviate from the screen, your mouse clicks, your keyboard clicks. So Ty, I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
It will flag you and it will send me notifications if you're looking at that second screen, right? Or if you're constantly looking away. So as long as you are in camera view, you're looking at your questions and you're answering, and you're not constantly doing this, looking at another monitor, we're going to be okay.
Okay.
But great question. Thank you. Yes.
Quick
question.
Yes.
In terms of attendance, like if we have to like step away from the camera, like if I have to go to the bathroom or something, does that count against us, or do we have to wait for a
No, it
break?
does not count against. Do me a favor. Just in the chat, say be right back, running to the bathroom real quick. Again, this
Okay.
class is recorded. The chat is recorded. If there's any questions, if we're audited and this lecture is audited and they're looking through the frames and they don't see you in the camera, then they'll be able to see the timestamp of be right back going to the bathroom, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know it's tough, guys, but we're issuing credits. We're issuing you a degree, right? And we have to make sure that it's a human behind that screen and that we're actually engaging, which is why it's heavily scrutinized and really monitored. Let's go to your due date schedule. Can everyone see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, awesome. Let's magnify a little bit. Okay, so I have this simplified list of when things are due. I encourage you guys to print this out or save it in some way so that you can stay on top of whatever all your work that is due, because you've got a lot of classes and random different due dates. Week 1, we are in week 1. The only thing I asked is for you to have logged into class, logged into Moodle, and posted your first discussion. Okay. The material that we are presenting today in lecture will be due next Monday. Does that make sense, guys? It'll be due next Monday on the 13th. You'll have an assignment, you'll have a discussion, and you'll have a quiz. Every week, every lecture, we'll lecture on Tuesday, and that Monday is when everything is due. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Okay. You'll see here week 1 and week 2. Let me explain that. Why am I doubling up? Why am I doubling up? With combining week 1 and week 2 today, in today's lecture, it gives me the opportunity to not present any new material for midterm. Okay, what that means is at midterm and at final, you have that week to just study. Does that make sense? I'm not doubling up on you guys by presenting new material and you have to study for the midterm and the final, right? So a little bit of heavy work one time in the beginning of the quarter with combining week 1 and week 2. That way we have that week off to just study together, right? For the midterm and the final. Let me go to our syllabus so I can explain the last point. For the rules here. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Perfect. Yeah, you can use your what are they, emojis? your thumbs up, is that what they're called, emojis? Okay, that works too. Okay, guys. For Intro 001, this is a 6-credit course. Remember how I said you guys are in an accelerated program. If you've gone to an on-campus traditional college, you typically see your courses worth 3 credits each, right? So what does this tell us? We got a lot of work. We got a heavy load. You are essentially taking 1 class in 2. You with me, guys? 6 credits for this class, so it's a lot. It's a lot, okay? I want to mention that the coursework is delivered through synchronous and asynchronous distance education. Synchronous means live, where it's in real time, it's happening right now. That's our lectures, right? Asynchronous learning refers to not happening in real time. You complete your coursework independently, but within established deadlines. In the program, you are going to have some classes that are both synchronous and asynchronous, live and not live, some classes that are not going to be live at all. The workload may be a little bit heavier. Some may require more assignments and some may not. The The idea and the difference behind it is the credits and the clock hours. Does that make sense, guys? The credit and the clock hours and how the course is delivered. Your GE courses would be considered what? Your GE courses are asynchronous. You have no live lectures. A little bit heavier. You guys are going to have a heavier load because the course material is not being delivered live on lecture where you guys can take notes. You have to go and essentially hunt down your work, read everything, and do your assignments. So it's going to be a little heavier. Diana, go ahead.
I had a question regarding this for believe it's like sectional anatomy or something like that. How are we supposed to do like lab online with that? I've never done like a lab course online, even though, you know, schooling through COVID and all that, it was just
Yeah. Yeah, great question. This is for GE, right?
No, because isn't there like regular anatomy physio and then there's like sectional anatomy? Like when they were going through an orientation, like the different quarters and what they would look like, there was like GE anatomy and physio, and then there was like a sectional one, which I'm assuming is like more in depth.
Yeah, we have a cross-sectional course in the program that there's 3 courses, but that's specific to MRI. So with your GE courses, the associate program, you're going to have general education courses, anatomy and physiology, and then you're going to have specific MRI cross-sectional. So Diana, if you want, send me a screenshot or stay after class and we can look at that. For lab, anything online, it's usually interactive, right? You're going to maybe have a picture of a heart, if it's anatomy and physiology for your GE course. And if it's a lab component, it may say, click on the ventricles. So you're going to take your mouse and you're going to click on the ventricles. That would simulate best an online lab. Does that make sense? I don't have access to all of your GE information and how the courses are set up, so I'm not quite sure, you know, how each instructor does that. But that would best simulate an online lab where it just tracks your mouse and you're clicking on things.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, of course. Outside work, guys, include your textbook reading, any articles, links, videos. Quiz and test prep, forum discussion, presentations. I want to make a note here. Outside work will require a student commitment of 10 hours per week. Why? Why? Because of the 6 credits. I just want to make sure that we understand we really are doubling up, guys. We're doubling up, so it's going to require a lot of time. I know we are all adults and we have to work and we have families and we have responsibilities. And how are we going to juggle working and going to school and making sure that we're putting in the hours that we need? This is why it's recommended that you don't work. And I know that that's not always an option for everybody. But I just want you guys to know that this is a tough program. And it's best if you can scale back on those work hours, because this is just for one class, the 10 hours, okay, of assigned reading, watching the Clover learning videos, which I'll get into in just a minute. You guys have my email. Okay, I think that is all. The lecture plan and weekly instructional breakdown with a 6 credit course. The synchronous component is we will have lecture for roughly 2 hours. Okay. We're going to spend roughly an hour with some asynchronous work, video and check-in. Okay. That will be logging into Moodle, watching Clover videos, submitting your assignment. Okay. The other synchronous or asynchronous component is instructional moderated discussion forum, which you guys have all participated in. About an hour. Sometimes every week it's going to build, right, with what I ask you guys to discuss or what we're talking about. You'll have to maybe reference textbook reading. You have to put a little bit more time into it, which is why you're given an hour credit to make sure that you've looked at what I'm asking, you've responded initially, you've responded to 2 classmates, and between all of that said and done, about an hour's worth of credit, okay? Tracked assignments and quizzes is the other asynchronous component. You get an hour for that. Weekly quizzes shouldn't take more than 30 minutes. There's also a prep time that is tracked. The accreditation knows you may not spend an entire 60 minutes on a 10 question, 30-minute quiz, but there's prep time to that, right? There's prep time with reviewing the recorded lectures and your notes. Outside reading time is not counted for your clock hours to give you 6 full credits, but it is a requirement, which is those 10 hours that I mentioned. Does this make sense, guys? Okay. You can, on your own, look at the syllabus and look at each week's breakdown, okay, of what we're going to discuss. I'm going to also show that to you on a lecture slide. Let's look at your real quick. Oh, no. There we go. So today's the 7th. If you hover over, yesterday we had the discussion 1 due. Next week on Monday, you'll see assignment 2 is due, assignment 1 is due, and discussion is due. Where's your quiz? Because we have weekly quizzes. That will open up at the end of class today. Okay? We can't jump ahead and take the quiz until we've had lecture. Same thing with the assignment. I know some of you submitted your assignment early. I don't know how you did it because we haven't had lecture yet. Let's jump down to that real quick. Let's go to week 1. So when you scroll down to week 1, we have the weekly instructional breakdown here. You'll see this every week of what needs to get done. Begin with chapter 1 reading. In both books, I'll explain that in just a minute. Ideally before lecture, if you can, watch the Clover learning video. That will be weekly. This week we don't have a Clover, but you'll have it in the coming weeks here. Of course, respond to my discussion post. You'll see here for week 1 that was due last night. And then complete your assignment and complete your quiz by next Monday. Andrea, go ahead.
Question on Clover.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out how to get into it, and for the life of me, I cannot figure it out. Can you help me with that? Because it was asking for like a code or a key or something like that.
That's important. Please, guys, at the end of class, thank you, Andrea, for bringing that up. At the end of class, please try to access Clover. If it is asking you for an enrollment key, a course code, anything asking you for something, send me an email. So I have that, and I'm going to send that list to Mike. I don't know if Mike is on here. Mike, are you here? He may not be here. We'll get you that access. Okay, so please send me an email. Okay, so your quizzes are going to pop. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was like, do I also CC Mike on that too?
You can CC Mike. Yep, you can CC Mike. Yeah. That way we can both keep track and make sure that you are, make sure that you have your access. So again, you will see on the calendar every week, you're going to have your assignment, your discussion, and your quiz due on Monday. And your quiz will open up today after lecture. Okay. I will show this later. Are we okay, guys, to keep going a little bit for a few more minutes? I want to cover just a few more things and then we'll take a quick break. Taking notes for this class. Let's scroll down here. When you scroll down every week, you will have you will have this assignment here. You'll see here class lecture notes for assignment 1. When I'm presenting the lecture slides and we're discussing, you're going to follow along and you're going to answer the following questions. What are 2 things an MRI machine uses to generate a detailed high-resolution cross-sectional image? What are the 4 steps illustrating how MRI works? If you fill this out during live lecture and take these notes, your assignment is done for the week. You just submit that under the assignment, okay? For week 2, assignment 2, please walk through the steps summarizing what you learned during the first 2 weeks of our class. Remember, we're combining week 1 and week 2 today, detailing how the MRI machine generates an image. Ensure that you are as detailed as possible, okay? If you can write these down and take notes, again, during class, your assignment is done, right? And then you just upload that and you submit it right here, down to assignment. You'll see that it is due July 13th, and you're just going to upload that for me. Does that make sense, guys? Okay.
Are lecture slides going to be accessible for us?
Typically, no. And I'll
Okay,
explain
so we're
why.
just gonna have the book to like read and go over?
And the class is recorded. This class is recorded. So you can
Okay.
go and watch the recording. The idea
okay.
behind not giving you guys them posted here is to take notes. That's the mama bear in me. I want to make sure that you guys are successful, right? And so, yes, we could talk about that later, but no, typically you will not have access to your lecture slides. I want you guys here with me in class, taking notes, right? Watching the recorded video to where if you have to go back on a concept, right, you can still see the lecture slide. You'll pause the video and you'll take your notes. Okay, does that sound fair? Okay. Yep.
Sorry, I had a quick question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No
For the
worries.
lecture notes, like when we turn it in, do you want that in like complete sentences or can we do bullet points?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Be as detailed as you can. So I don't have a rubrics grading scale. What that means is the analogy of the sky that I gave you. You say the sky is blue. I say it's sky blue. We still know we're talking about the sky, right? And we are still saying that it's blue. I want to hear how you articulate. I want to read how you articulate it, how your brain is absorbing the information, and how you are constructing your answer to me. If you give me 2-word answers, am I going to give you full credit for the assignment? No, right? If you give me a paragraph, but your classmate gives me 4 sentences and you give me 3, am I going to dock you for not having 4 when I can clearly see that you've got the point and your brain is mapping exactly where I want you to be? You're going to get credit, right? So be as detailed as you can, guys. I'm not going to scrutinize word count on these, but if I start to see a trend where you're like just answering in a few words, or you give me 1 sentence and I can't really peek into your brain to see where you're at, then we'll have to kind of change things up a little bit. Sound fair? Okay. Is it Tani? Tahani?
Tahani, but yes. I had a question.
Yes.
So for the week 1 and week 2 assignments, so is that just the one assignment for this week and next week, or do we have? I think we have another assignment for next week. No.
You do. And I just
Yeah.
combined it onto this one sheet because we're combining week 1 and week 2. Essentially,
Oh,
they're
okay.
the same. Essentially, I'm kind of asking you the same thing, but week 2, I want you to summarize. I want you to summarize what you learned with how the machine generates an image, right? But on assignment 1, they're connected because I'm asking you, what is the magnet strength measured in? What are the gradient coils essential for? You're going to pull some of these answers to summarize your second assignment, right?
Yeah.
So write it out on notes, scan it in and upload it and save it as a PDF. If you want to handwrite, If you want to type, you can type. But what you'll do is you'll, on it, your header of your assignment, if you decide to do digital, you're going to put assignment 1, week 1, right? And you're going to turn it in under week 1. When you go to week 2, you'll see here again your weekly instructional breakdown. And when everything is due, you're going to go down to week 2 and you're going to submit that second bottom summary.
Okay, perfect. So there'll be 2 separate like things that I submit. So this one
Yes.
this week and that one next week. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds
And
good.
then week 3, you'll see here, guys, you'll see a lock on these weeks here. You can't jump too far ahead. Again, that's accreditation. We need to make sure that you have your login and your time on task and your clocked hours. So that's why everything's locked. You can't jump ahead, unfortunately. GE, it's my understanding you can kind of jump ahead. You've got a lot of work for GE, but with the program itself, we can't jump ahead. So each week will be opened up for you. It'll unlock, if you will. Michael, I'll get to you, Elizabeth, in just 1 second.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes. For the assignment submission, will there be like a text box we can type in our answers instead of only submitting PDF formats?
No, there won't be a text box format. You have to upload an assignment. Again, that's accreditation. They want to track. They want to track that you've logged in, you've submitted work, I've logged in, and I've graded your work. So they want an actual assignment. Yeah, you got to upload an assignment. Elizabeth, go ahead.
Yes, so I'm not sure if you're going to go over the ebook. I'm not sure how to access that because I know that it said for one of the assignments we had to read for this week.
Yes. So your ebook, thank you. I'll get to you, Diane, in just 1 second. So your ebook, guys, you have to acknowledge. Let's click on it. In order to access your ebook, you have to accept the syllabus agreement. So click on that. If you have any technical difficulties with that, please let me know. But you're going to have to acknowledge there's a link on your end. It looks a little bit different on my end than your end, but you're going to acknowledge and accept the syllabus received. And then once you accept that, it should unlock your textbook. But please don't wait. Please don't wait. Make sure that you guys jump on that now in case there's any technical difficulties. I can troubleshoot that.
I did the agreement, but it doesn't pop up the ebook.
It doesn't. Okay. Can you shoot me an email real quick? Just so I can keep track and make sure that I come right back to you. We can address it after class, but I've got a couple students staying, so I want to make sure that I don't forget to go back to that. So send me an email that you don't have access to the ebook.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Class, encouraging you all to please try later after class. I would hate for you to not have access to your book and then you're not able to do your work on time. Diana, go ahead.
So similarly to how somebody had mentioned on the chat, I used an iPad and a stylus to take notes. If I whether it's download the document that you have already pre-written or, handwrite them on like an app and then submit it like that to give myself more space than like the little space after each question. Is that okay? Or
Absolutely.
do you want it typed?
No. If you guys want to handwrite it, look at you. I'm dating myself here. I'm a lot older, guys. Despite what I look like, I don't even know how you would do that. Okay. But if you're using an iPad and you're taking notes like that, as long as I can see it and read it, you're good, right? But make sure that when you save it, it's either like a PDF or a Word document, nothing fancy. If there's like special settings for the iPad, that I can actually open the document itself, then yeah, I'm good.
Just wanted to specify because on the actual document, it gives us like a small piece to like write in. And you did mention you wanted like, a good amount of details and not just like dots.
Yes. So, yeah, great point. So put like a number 1, I know there's 7 questions, put 1 dot. And, if you want to paraphrase the first question and then go into it, then I'm good with that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Notes for the class. Let me come back to that. because I want to be able to show you the slides. I'm going to show you the slides so I can go into the notes. Okay. Done that. Clinical review. Okay. Later in the quarter, we're going to talk about clinical. Okay. We're going to talk about clinical, your clinical requirements, how you get your scrubs, how you get your assignment. You are going to have clinical requirements, meaning to get mask fit tested. You're going to have to get a physical. You're going to have to upload all of that. We're going to discuss that a little bit later, not so early in the quarter, right? Because we're not quite there yet. So if you had any questions, write them down, put them to the side, and we'll circle back to that a little bit later on in the quarter. Okay. Okay, guys, we're top of the hour. Actually, a minute late, but let's take a 10-minute break. Okay. Let's take a 10-minute break, and then we'll jump into the lecture material. Grab a drink, go to the bathroom, come back at 10:15 Pacific Standard Time. Take a few extra minutes here, about 13 minutes, okay? I'll be here, guys, if you have any questions.
Hey, Esther, sorry I was a little late there, but these guys have questions that are more important than anything I have. So please, guys, go ahead, ask Esther questions.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, there was just a couple Clover things that we need to get worked on. Some students don't have they haven't been enrolled into the group, so we need to just check on that on the background, but we could do that later.
Yeah, I was gonna get access to everybody today, actually.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a I'm not sure if it's a technical difficulty thing, but I'm trying to download the book so I can have it on my phone or my tablet.
Yes.
I see there's an option to download the app and it says bookshelf, but like I'm just a bit confused because it's gurnick.vitalsource.com, but it mentions like bookshelf. I'm not sure if bookshelf's the app. I'm not sure if Diana knows either. I know she mentioned that as well.
Sorry, go.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I unmuted myself because yesterday I literally spent like an hour looking at that. The Bookshelf is an app that you can download on your phone, iPad to like have the book, but in itself, it didn't let me download the whole book. It only let me do, I believe, 80 pages. So you're just gonna have to like kind of like log in to look at it. I don't know if maybe there's like a workaround or anything
That's
like
what
that.
I was going to say. Yeah, you've
Yeah.
got to log in. Yeah, you got to log in. So what you'll do is you'll just log in from your phone or your tablet. You'll log into Moodle. You'll click on your ebook, and then you'll have access to the entire book.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think
fine.
it's like a licensing agreement, guys. Like they don't want to just freely give out all. They want their money, right? So they want it. It's connected to Moodle and it's connected to Gurnick, and yeah. So they want to make sure that they're not missing out on money and giving you a free book.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Jason, go ahead.
Yes, hi. I was just wondering, how do we access Judgy?
How do you access Jeji?
Or
It's going to be a website. Did you not get that in orientation?
I'm not too sure, but I know that was mentioned a lot, but I'm not sure. I haven't been able to find that anywhere on my end.
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Check the email that you got when they first sent you your Gurnick email. Look for that. Underneath, further down, it should mention Judgy, and then how to sign in, and then from there you'll be able to access that. I was in the same situation last week, so like you'll be able to access the account that way. But just find that initial email, that very long, lengthy email, and then Judgy should be towards the bottom.
Thank you for
And
that.
yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know, Jason.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, anytime.
Okay, wonderful. Let me read these comments real quick. Thank you, Vincent, for putting that Jeju link in. Okay, I'm going to. Isaiah, go ahead.
I had
Did you have a
quick
question?
about the general forum for the
Mhm.
discussion. I noticed that it looked different from mine. I noticed there was also a Discord link for the class, but I think I noticed that you were a part of the Sacramento campus. So I wonder if that might be why, because this says San Jose campus for me, but I think it said Sacramento for you at the time.
Yes, so it should be the same for both. I just happened to pull the Sacramento.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not updating for me for some reason. I just have the very first message, and that's kind of it.
Okay, let me see. So you're in the San Jose. Let's pop
Yeah.
over there. Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason why you don't have the Discord is because unfortunately only San Jose can only see San Jose and only Sacramento can only see Sacramento. I can see all of it as your instructor, but that's the university, guys, the campus. They isolate you guys into your region and they build the classes on that. So you guys all have the same work, you have all the same assignments, but you won't be able to see a classmate from Sacramento's, posts, but you'll have the Sacramento students here. I can copy that over. Let me see. Oops.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Thank you.
Yeah, no, great question. Yeah, I wish I could combine them, but you can't. Class Discord. I missed this. So let's see this. My name is Vincent. I'm Comic Vince. I went ahead and created a Discord server for everyone so we have a central spot to collaborate, share resources. Wonderful, Vincent. Thank you. Feel free to join if you want. Casual place and study together. Here's the link. Okay, and I'll join the link too, guys. I'll join the link too. Unless you don't want me. When everyone comes back, I'll wait and see.
I feel like that would be helpful because some of the questions that we have put on there are like related to like questions that we were going to ask here.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so I just clicked on the link. Isaiah, do you know how to join Discord?
If I had the link, I would be able to do it.
You know what I'll do? When Vince comes back, I'm going to ask him to post it in our class here. Or in our chat box here. That way you can just click on the link directly.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Speaking about the different classes or groups, cohorts being here present today, I'm in the Sacramento one, and I was wondering like how many people are in my cohort. Will I ever actually like, just be in a class with them? Like, are we ever all gonna meet? Like, how does that work?
Listen, I wish I have those desires. I want to be in a classroom with you guys.
I'm saying, I'm like, am I
Yes.
aging myself? This whole like new, everybody through Zoom. I'm like, it was fun during COVID, but I'm like, I miss socializing.
I know, right? Me too. Can you imagine me as your instructor? I have all of you guys and I don't get to like be in the classroom and
Right.
all of that. So it's hard for me. Oh, thank you, Vince. You did it. Hi. I literally came back right as you said. Yay. Thank you, Vince. Okay. So Vince, thank you for creating that. And Diana, yes, click on that. That way you're connected to your whole class. You're going to have both. Then you guys, from that point, if you guys want to like do like a subgroup, only Sacramento or only San Jose, or if you want to like create a study partner or study groups, then you could post in that Discord, hey, Sacramento, if you're in the Sacramento area, I want to do a study group. Who's interested? Then you can kind of isolate and branch off into your own cohort. But no, we're all together and we're all far away. We can't.
Are you able to tell us how many people are in our cohort? Like, whether it's cool. I'm like, my chismosa self was definitely wondering that.
Let me see. Let me
I'm
count.
like, how many people got into SAC?
I have a total. Let me break down just Sacramento. 15. You have 15 Sacramento.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Listen, you guys, this is an accelerated, difficult program, one, but two, you have to be selected. If you are here, you got to give yourself kudos for that.
That's kind of why I was going with this,
You
because
have to.
when I was like interviewing, I like went online and I was like looking at like different videos, and some people were saying that like over 350 people have like interviewed or have applied for like this program,
yes.
like per term. So in my head, I was like, damn, like
yes, give yourself kudos. In fact, I often say about 3/4 in, you guys are experiencing senioritis. At that point, you're just tired. You're tired. You're over it. You've juggled personal life. You've juggled family. You've juggled work. You've juggled an accelerated program with homework and classes. You're done. Remember back on how excited you were for this class and that you were picked out of 300 students. Let that be your fuel to keep going, right? And I'll touch on that when everyone comes back. So yeah, great, great, great. Great point. And yeah, you should feel honored that you were picked out of those 300. So, and use that. Is the Discord open to the other locations? Yes, it is. Your classmate Vince posted the link. So go up to that link and sign in. I don't know how to do it, guys. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how to join you guys. Give me 1 second. I've got to switch screens here. Let me connect this. It's best to create a Discord on your phone and computer. Okay. Thank you for that, Shane. I need all the help I can get, guys, with these new technologies and everything you guys got going on. Let's see.
Right. Yesterday I was like, Discord, what is this? Like, do people really use this? And my brother, who's like younger, he was like, oh my God, you're so old. Like, yes. And I was just like,
yes. See? Let's see. Let me download this. Ooh. There we go. Okay. I'm going to stop this one. Okay, I was talking to you guys and I did not use the restroom myself. I will be right back. Okay, let's jump back in.
Not me jumping ahead, but does
Think
Gurnick
about
do like a in-person like graduation? Like, is that when we're all gonna meet? Like,
There are, yes, there is an option. You know what's difficult, Diana, is that because everyone is kind of scattered too, not everyone comes. And so there will be an on-campus. I know. There will be an on-campus
Hello, Esther. It's Bob.
graduation. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
I'm like,
Hey.
okay, Bob.
Hello, Deanna. What campus? I mean, where are you located?
Sac.
Sacramento. Oh, yes, there is a Sacramento graduation.
Cool.
It will definitely be at the end of the program. So you still got a while, but don't worry. Yes, there is you'll meet the Sacramento students before that at the IB training next quarter.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yes, you guys will have IB training. So you will, thank you, Bob, for that. You will be able to meet your cohort. Yes.
Is there an in-person graduation for San Jose?
There is too, even for the out-of-state students, like Texas and South Carolina, you would just be part of the San Jose campus graduation. We do have students from out of state that do fly here to go to the graduation, but that is all at your cost. Otherwise, that's just how graduations work. Graduation is not a mandatory thing. Usually I would get about 8 people joining, but I will say the last couple graduations I've had about 12. So it just depends if you want to go to graduation or not. Sometimes graduations are 3 months after you graduate. Sometimes they're a month before you graduate. It's not just MRI at the graduation. It's nursing, x-ray, ultrasound. They clump them together. And so it's a pretty big graduation. And sometimes they're, months after you already finished the program. And sometimes a lot of the students just don't want to show up because, they're working already or something. So it's up to you guys, but you'll get more information on that. That's not planned by us. That is planned by your campus and student success and campus directors and all of them. They plan it, not us.
Thank you.
I'll be there too, Elizabeth, so we can go to the graduation.
Like I said, guys, Sacramento students, you guys will be all meeting each other on campus next quarter. You'll get those dates when it gets a little bit closer for your IB training. San Jose students, if you're local San Jose students, you'll meet on campus next quarter also. And then Texas students, you'll meet at a facility together with a clinical coordinator, and South Carolina, you'll meet at a facility with the clinical coordinator. So you guys will meet, except for South Carolina. There's only one of you, so you'll meet your clinical coordinator, just you and the clinical coordinator. But everybody else, you'll meet at least a couple of people. And then like the Texas, there's like 5, 6 of you. So you guys will meet all at once. And then the big groups will be the Sacramento campus and local San Jose.
I had a question. You're saying that we're gonna meet each other in the next quarter. So does that mean we're gonna have in-person classes next quarter?
No.
Oh.
All didactic is done online. The only time you guys meet each other is IB training. So you will go to campus. If you're local, you'll go to campus for IB training one day. If you're not local, you just meet somewhere. We'll give you all the information on that.
One day out of the quarter or one day per week?
One day out of the quarter.
Okay.
IB training only takes one day unless you don't pass, and then you'll just have to do another day. Don't worry, guys. You guys will get all that information when it gets a little bit closer. Don't worry about it. Today is like literally your first webinar day. So just kind of, it's going to be a lot of adjusting and getting used to how all this works. So just kind of, just be prepared. Just make sure, the biggest thing, just make sure you have your emails set up on your phone and you're checking your emails daily along with your Moodle classes. daily. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to fall too far behind because Mike and we're going to start checking on attendance and grades starting next week when all that gets inputted. And if I see you're missing something, we're going to start reaching out to you immediately because it's very easy to fall behind in this program. This is a 2-year program condensed down into 18 months. You're going to be learning a lot of material. There's going to be a lot of pressure on you guys to really put the time in to study all of this on your free time. All right. That's why I said at the orientation, next 18 months, say goodbye to your personal life.
Mm-hmm.
This is your life for the next 18 months. All right. Really put the time in, guys. So Esther, I'll give it back to you.
Yes. Thank you, Bob. And just piggybacking on that, guys, yesterday was the start of the quarter, day 1, right? We didn't have lecture until today, but the expectation every quarter of the entire program is that the day 1 of the quarter, the start of the quarter, you must log into all your courses. So if you haven't logged into your GE courses yet, please do that so that your attendance can also be recorded and documented. And that way you don't miss any assignments and you know the expectations for that week. So please, every quarter for the entire program, even if you don't have lecture on that Monday, the day the quarter opens, you have to still log into Moodle and kind of check things out, okay?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to jump on that too. GE classes. If you are in GE classes, you need to make sure you are checking in on them. They use Moodle, but they also use some of the classes will use like McGraw-Hill that you have to click into and go to do your assignments in there. You need to make sure you're completing all of that work. And if you're having any issues, you need to start reaching out to the instructors immediately if you can access something or something along those lines. If you wait 4 or 5 weeks and I just see your grades are at 20% and stuff, we're going to have a serious talk, okay? So make sure you guys are checking everything. I told you during orientation, Monday, you needed to check all your classes. You needed to make sure you're able to log in and get into them. You need to make sure if there's any discussions or anything that needed to be done on Monday that they're done. So make sure you guys are doing that.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, I just wanted to touch on that as well, and something that one of your classmates mentioned. Just the excitement of being selected into the program. Your classmate wanted a count of who got accepted and who didn't. The point is, guys, is that you were the lucky one. You did what you needed to do to get in, and it is truly an honor to have you. But recognize too that not everyone got in. And so you are here. And so I would hate for you to lose your seat, lose your spot in the program by falling too far behind. Also, I mentioned to your classmate, usually about the third quarter is what I say you guys develop senioritis. You've got personal lives, you've got work, you've got families, you're tired, right? You don't want to put the work in anymore. You've got to keep going. And let the excitement of knowing that you were selected out of a big group of applicants, and use that as your motivation to keep pushing, stay on top of the deadlines, your tasks, and your assigned work. Okay, guys, let's jump into the material. MRI, how does it work? What is it? A lot of you guys have a good idea, but we are going to touch on the basics. MRI is non-invasive medical imaging technique that uses, hint, hint, this is one of your assignment questions, that uses a strong magnetic field and radio waves to generate that detailed high-resolution cross-sectional image. Okay, make sure you guys have your class notes that I provided for you so that you can answer the questions and follow along and take notes while I'm lecturing here. We know that the information assists the healthcare professionals in diagnosing a wide range of conditions. And a lot of you guys, for your fun fact in your discussion forum, you guys already posted the obvious: no radiation exposure. right? No radiation, unless you're using X-ray or CT, right? We use radio waves and magnets, which is considered safe for most patients, including children. Again, and it's non-invasive, okay? The biggest benefit of MRI is that we've got detailed images of soft tissue and organs that the other modalities in X-ray or in radiology, meaning X-ray and CT, really can't provide, okay? Hint, hint, these are your steps. This is also one of your assignment questions. How does MRI work? How does it work? We use hydrogen atoms, okay? Step one, the magnetic field is going to not disturb, but it's going to, in a very predictable way, dictate the hydrogen atoms. And we're going to use that to our benefit and our advantage. And we're going to get into that a little bit more in detail in the next couple slides here. But we're using hydrogen atoms in our big magnet, our big MRI machine. We then are going to use radio waves. Step two, we're going to use radio waves to disturb the alignment of these hydrogen atoms. Okay. Step three, these hydrogen atoms are going to emit signals and we're going to capture them. And once we capture them, we're going to process them into what we see here, the MRI image. I want to sidestep here on this next slide. What I just explained to you guys is the most general, basic explanation of how we generate, let me go back, how we generate an MRI image, how MRI works. We use hydrogen atoms, we use radio waves, a big magnet, and how we use those are going to give us a signal. And when we have that signal, that's what's captured on the image. A closer look of these steps. And this is where I want to detour a little bit on how to take notes for this class. You are going to experience a very general definition of a concept, and then we're going to dive deeper and deeper and deeper, okay? You can either have section tabs for MRI physics, MRI basics, image formation, safety, or you can have a header of this is a physics concept, and then you write that down. However your brain can visually organize and see so where you can truly understand, I encourage you guys to organize it in a way that works best for you. It'll make a little bit more sense as we progress through these slides. And I'll give you another example. So step one, we're going to put the patient inside the bore. The body's hydrogen atoms are randomly distributed right now. You and I, our hydrogen atoms are random. But when we go into the magnetic field and we're in the machine, they are going to align, meaning they're going to orientate themselves and not be random. They're either going to be standing up or standing down, okay? We use the terminology as either being aligned parallel or anti-parallel. We're going to go into that more in just a minute here. Going a little bit deeper with the radio waves. It's referred to as pulse excitation. We take those radio waves at the Larmor frequency and we tip those protons out of alignment. And when that happens, the absorbed energy is released. That's what the signal emission is. Stay with me, guys. I know that I'm using a lot of terminology that is very foreign. I'm going to share how it all comes together in the next slide here. With that signal emission, the protons are going to relax back. They're going to release energy as an RF signal. We're going to categorize, quantify that signal as T1 or T2 relaxation times, and they are going to vary by tissue. okay? To get this beautiful image, we are going to use gradient coils to encode spatial information. Fourier transformers convert the signals into cross-sectional images. That was a lot. And there's a method to my madness and where I'm going. We see here we're very general, right? Very general on how we generate an MRI image. We've got hydrogen atoms, we use radio waves, we've got signal here, and then the image. But when we look at these slides, we get into much more detail, right? Much more detail. Do you guys see that connection? That not only are we saying that we use hydrogen atoms in step one, we've now defined that they're randomly orientated. But when we place them in the magnetic field, they align. Magnetic alignment. Which brings me to my point that studying MRI is very complex, and it's like an onion. There are layers of complexity. This is why it's so important to have good notes and understand that in this course, Intro 001, we are going to just cover the basics, what MRI is, the equipment we use, how we generate the MRI image, what are the components that allow us to generate that MRI image. Later in the quarter, we're going to discuss patient positioning. We're going to discuss safety of the patient. That's the basics. But when we peel back the next layer, we then get into the physics of how we generate an MRI image, right? We discuss in detail that there are more than one essentially magnetic fields involved, okay? That we need to not necessarily just use hydrogen atoms like I explained in step 1 2 slides ago, but we're going to have hydrogen alignment, okay? And that alignment we define as either being parallel or anti-parallel, which the next layer, even beyond that, is defined as a higher energy state or a lower energy state, okay? And the RF pulses. The next layer, when we're discussing signal, is that we're going to understand that not only are we using those hydrogen atoms and we're aligning them, we're specifically capturing signal, and we quantify and define that as a T1 or a T2, and that the signal emission is going to be based and quantified using the Larmor frequency. Stay with me, guys. I'm just showing you guys the level of complexity and what to expect with intro and the remaining of your courses. We then are going to discuss hardware. How do we do this? How exactly are we aligning those hydrogen atoms, which we just defined as using the main magnetic field? What are we doing to send in that RF frequency, that RF pulse, okay, in order to disturb and generate that signal? And then the next layer of our onion is reconstructing. Now that we've manipulated the hydrogen atoms and we've defined the mechanics, what part of the machine is doing this, how do we get that image? There's a lot to unpack. We've got Fourier transform processing. We've got K-space in order for the image processing. One more, guys, one more layer, and I'll explain why we're approaching intro in this fashion. Peeling the next layer for basics. Later, again, we're going to discuss patient safety, and we're going to go into screening protocols. But we're going to begin this course with the physics and our understanding of how we truly generate an MRI image. We can define the behavior of those hydrogen atoms by their quantum spin. Precession. We need to have a net magnetization vector, okay? When we're talking about the signal, we can define it and quantify it as a proton density weighting, inversion recovery, or echo formation. When we talk about hardware, we can talk about engineering, cryogenics, quenching the system. I know some of these terms are unfamiliar, which we're going to build on that and build on your MRI vocabulary as we progress. Reconstruction, advanced algorithms, parallel imaging, compressed sensing, deep learning reconstruction. The reason why we just went over that is to show you guys that there's a lot to unpack, okay? And everything is interconnected between 001 and physics, which you're going to have later in the quarter. So your brain you may want to ask, well, why or how? And you and I can meet after class if you want to dive a little bit deeper, or at the end of class if students want to stay engaged and hear those explanations. But we're going to be at an introductory level with learning MRI and the basics of MRI, okay? As the program builds and as you progress through your classes, you see here the progression. Are you guys able to see that? How we can be very superficial with how we generate the image, but then we get deeper and deeper into our understanding and our explanation. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. I threw a lot of new terminology out at you, right? And you're thinking, what the heck does all that mean? What is K-space? What is Larmor frequency and Fourier transformation? It comes together at the end of the program. We have to pick it apart. And the way I like to explain it is we will zoom in and zoom out. We will have a bird's eye view of the general concepts, and then we're going to dive deep. And then we're going to go back out and dive deep, okay? With regards to your notes, make sure that you've got those basic steps, how we generate the MRI image, okay? Because when you have that solid foundation, you're going to leave space because we're going to continually build on that. Let's go into the hardware. You guys know that we have a big magnet. This is how we have and generate MRI images. We've got to have that magnet, right? This is the core component. We need to have a stable field that aligns the hydrogen atoms in the body. What do I mean by stable, and why did I make that distinction? We have different magnets in practice or in use. We typically don't see resistive and permanent. We are typically going to be using superconducting magnets. I would just write down superconducting magnets now. It is the most common type, and it is cooled with liquid helium. We're going to build on this even more. For your notes, write that down. We do have different magnets to generate images. We have resistive and we have permanent. In your textbook, it's going to define a little bit more the differences between these two, but the main thing is that these are a lower cost, but the big thing is that it's a weaker field. We typically are not going to see these in the clinic because of that weaker field. We've advanced so far in MRI and in imaging that they have truly perfected the machine, and this is why we're not going to go too deep into resistive and permanent magnets, and we're just going to focus on superconducting, which is what we use. Magnet strength of the machine is measured in what? It's measured in Tesla. Clinical systems commonly operate at 1.5 or 3. How many of us have seen 7 Tesla or heard of 7 Tesla? Yes, those are really reserved for research purposes. You're not going to see anything beyond a 3 Tesla in the clinic. As students, you will not be operating a machine higher than a 3 Tesla. Very general. We use gradient coils. I'm going to show Next week, as we continue on the discussion of hardware, a little bit more in depth. Again, we're staying superficial while you grasp this new terminology and these new concepts. But make a note that we use gradient coils in order to help us with that signal, generating that signal, capturing that signal. These gradient coils, this might be one of your note or your assignment questions, are essential for spatial encoding. They create precise variations in the main magnetic field to identify the origin of MR signals, defining the position of voxels. Can you guys see just with that definition how we've now quickly progressed very rapidly to the next layer of complexity with signal generation and signal formation? Advanced control, we can precisely time the tuning on and off of these gradients for slice selection, phase encoding, and frequency encoding, enabling fast imaging sequences and rapidly switching gradients. Later in the quarter, you're going to have a safety class. We're going to discuss why rapidly switching gradients is highly problematic or can be highly problematic to your patient's safety, but is highly beneficial to high resolution and fast imaging. Continuing on with our hardware and how we actually generate the MRI image is our RF coils, radio frequency coils. These coils are going to transmit, and some of them also have the ability to receive RF pulses. They are going to be used to excite the hydrogen atoms and to receive the emitted signals used to construct the image. We have head coils, body coils, and surface coils. Do you have to know these specifically for your quiz? No. What I want you to focus on more is the fundamental basics that in order to generate an MRI image, we need to have RF coils, radio frequency coils that are going to send a signal, but also are going to record and capture the signal from the hydrogen atoms. And if you're thinking, well, signal, what signal? How are we getting that signal? What signal are you referring to? We're going to get there. Not yet. We can't jump too far ahead without establishing the foundation. Uses of the hardware to generate these beautiful, beautiful images. We typically are going to see the majority of our images, and a lot of them are going to be in brain and neurological studies. We define extremities, joints, elbows, hips, knees as musculoskeletal imaging. Okay, anything with the torso of the body, depending on if you're on the upper torso or the lower torso, will be defined as cardiovascular or abdominal imaging. Your 11 weeks with me and a deeper dive is understanding that we are going to break up this quarter into these different steps. What do I mean by that? We've just generally introduced the hardware, okay? Generally introduced the idea that when the patient or the body is placed in the body, those hydrogen atoms are going to align, okay? As we progress through the quarters, we're going to continually build on these and redefine the basics of the hydrogen alignment. And the example of that is either being parallel or anti-parallel, high energy state or low energy state, which we're going to get to in the coming weeks. Safety, guys, we're going to revisit at the end of the quarter. It is very important that everyone is screened in the MRI environment. Some of you guys have already mentioned the zones. Some of you guys are actually currently MRI tech aides. How important it is to get that screening form, those of you that are the tech aides. How important is it? Come off the mic.
It's super important. Like we're the
Very
first
important.
line of defense before it gets.
Yep. Thank you. Absolutely. And then some of you guys have even mentioned zones, MRI zones 1 through 4. You as staff and patients have to progress through zones, which we're going to go over later in the quarter, as we gear up to understanding and getting ready for the clinic. Okay, that'll be again at the end of this quarter where we go into those zones. Those are restricted areas. Zone 4 is a restricted area, right? For those of you that are in the field now, you have to badge in. We're going to define why that is a restricted area, why we limit patients and staff from going into those fields, okay? That'll be later. Beyond this course of Intro 001, you go deeper. You have 3 classes that go much more deeper into what we're talking about today. That's going to be physical principles, physics 1 and physics 2. Okay. I share this with you guys now to know why for this class we're going to stay here. We're going to stay even with our understanding and defining of the process of MRI. But step 3, 4, and 5, physical principles, physics 1, you're going to go here and here. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, we can't dive too deep because it'll be a little bit confusing. And so some examples of where you're going to really experience the Larmor equation, RF coil design, flip angle optimization, SAR management, pulse shape engineering. Believe it or not, those RF frequencies that we use in MRI to generate the MRI image are engineered and designed as a pulse sequence, having a pulse shape. Okay, that comes later. And understanding that the flip angle, just to give you a little inside sneak peek, that flip angle is going to distinguish and determine what weighting, pulse sequence weighting or image weighting we see. Is the image going to be very bright? Is the image going to be more on a gray scale? We get into that later in the course or later in the program. But we are going to touch on it later in this course here. Okay. That is all I have. I want to stop here because I don't want us to get too far ahead. I threw a lot of new terms out at you guys. And the process, I want you guys, if you were taking notes, revise your notes. Let me come back here. Your assignment, I'm asking you, how do we generate the MRI image? How do we do that? I asked you guys to summarize that process. You're going to start here. Well, we start with placing the patient in the magnet in the machine. And we know that those hydrogen atoms before being placed into the machine are randomly being distributed in our body. Hydrogen atoms are those water molecules in our body. Okay. And that when they're in the magnet, they're going to align. You don't have to go into any more detail, whether it's anti-parallel or parallel or high energy state or low energy state. We're going to get there. I don't want to go too deep yet. I want basics, superficial basics, okay? We then use the radio waves to disturb those hydrogen atoms. They emit the signal and we get this beautiful picture, okay? Does that make sense, guys? The assignment and where we're staying? I know some of your brains want to go a little bit further. We're not there. We can't go there yet. You got to trust the process. We can't. So, yeah, I know. Listen, I'm a huge physics nerd. I didn't always start that way. I developed into being a physics nerd and I'm like, yes, let's go. I want to know more. How? When? We're not there yet. But I promise you at the end of this course, you guys are going to be well versed with all the intricacies and the complexity and be prepared to go on to the next course and dive into what case space is, Fourier transformation, radio frequency pulses, okay? If you have any questions, please, please let me know. Ty, go ahead.
Just to clarify, so at the beginning of it, the hydrogen atoms are in random alignment. The magnetic field brings them into alignment, and then the radio waves disturb the alignment. So when they emit the signals, it says they're returning to state in step 3. Is that returning to a random state? Is that
That's going to return back to being aligned with the magnetic field. There's so much more, guys. I'll give you a
okay? So they're going
sneak
from being disturbed to returning to an aligned state.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nicholas, go ahead.
Yes. So with these lectures, where are we able to see them to like go back to rewatch like the lectures?
Yes, I will have the video recording uploaded. So you can pause on these slides. You can pause on what I said. You can make a side note of a question. You said this in lecture, but can you expand on that a little bit more? Can you help me understand what you were saying? Yes. Sometimes, guys, the post-processing between Zoom takes a little bit, maybe an hour or two, but I'm pretty quick. The minute that this video is available and it's been processed and I get that email notification that it's ready, I'm going to upload it immediately into Moodle. It'll be under week 1 and week 2, and you'll see pre-recorded or recorded live lecture, and you'll be able to access that link. Okay. I know you guys want to dive deeper and get into a little bit more, but it's too much. I can't overwhelm you guys. We've got to make sure that we build a strong foundation and we really understand these steps right here, because we're going to build on these steps 50 steps forward throughout the program. But these don't ever change. I want to give you a little hint with safety. When we just have a whole course on safety, it's the radio wave disturbance and the radio wave energy that could burn our patients. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We need these components to generate an MRI image, but it's these same components on why we have an entire course on safety. And it's going to give us an understanding of how these same components are used for image creation, but they're also can be detrimental to our patient safety and ultimately end in burning our patients. Okay? All right, guys. Oh, Shayna, go ahead.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Were you able to go back to the coil selection slide real quick, or is that something that we'll access? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Yeah, you guys are going to have access to these through the recording. Yes. So you're going to go back. You're going to go back and kind of refine your notes. What do I mean by that? Some of you, I went through the material a little bit quickly because it's just introductory, just getting you an idea and getting you familiar with the terminology that we're going to be using. You're going to speak an entirely different language. You're going to go home and you're going to maybe say some of these things out loud, or you're going to have to build study groups and you're going to use the terminology spatial encoding and Fourier transformation, and your family is going to look at you like you are from a different planet because you are speaking a different language. I have to teach you that language, and we have to go through the basics, and then we're going to continually build on that to where at the end of the program, even the end of this course, you and I are going to fluently speak an entirely different language. So go through these, write down what they are. We use gradient coils for, let me erase this. We use gradient coils for spatial encoding. We don't know quite yet what spatial encoding is. And there's a reason why I didn't go into the detail of that yet, because I want to make sure that you understand the sole purpose for gradient coils. The sole purpose for gradient coils, that they are essential for spatial encoding. That's it. We're going to stop there, and then we'll progress. Maribel, go ahead.
Are the gradient coils different from the RF coils?
Yes, great question. Make a note of that, guys, because when you're giving me your explanation of how you generate an MRI image, that's your cue to say, hey, We clearly have more than one coil, right? We're going to use coils differently. Your RF coils are going to plug in. They're going to plug into your main magnet. The gradient coils on the screen here are actually inside your tube. They're inside your magnet. Do you guys see that? So make a little side note. Make a little side note. We've got more than one coil. They have different uses. Great question, guys. Okay, any other questions? If you took your notes, look over your notes again, refine them, and then you could turn them in for your assignment. You're going to study off of those notes. Your quiz will be opened up shortly after I'm done meeting with you guys and chatting with you guys after class. You'll have access to your quiz. 10 questions. 10 questions. That quiz will be due next week on Monday. You're going to have 2 quizzes, right? Because we covered intro to MRI, basic building blocks, our understanding of hydrogen. We use hydrogen, and then a little sneak peek into the hardware. Hardware is how we use the machine with those hydrogen to create that image. Is it me?
Yeah. Are the quizzes going to be more based on the lecture or the textbook as well?
Both. So you're going to see me. Remember how I said, guys, that we know that the sky is blue, but somebody may say sky blue and somebody may say blue, but we're still talking about the same thing. Let me give you an example. The gradient coils can also be referred to as imaging gradients. Your textbook may say that as well, which is why it's important to kind of skim over your reading, your textbook, before coming to class. So then you'll come to me and you'll say, well, wait a minute, the textbook said this, but you're saying this. That way I can help align the definitions. Nothing sneaky, guys. Nothing sneaky, okay? The best way to prepare for your quizzes, your midterm exam and your final exam is take notes. Look at those notes often. Refine those notes. Ask yourself why. Why do we have gradient coils? Well, the first answer is, let's stay superficial. Why do we have gradient coils? To generate an MRI image. If we want to do another level of complexity, why do we have gradient coils? I stayed superficial and asked, why do we have gradient coils? But if I want to go to the next level, we have gradient coils so that we can spatially encode. Leave room on your notes, because you're then as we progress through the course, you're going to tell me what spatial encoding is. You're going to have an understanding of what spatial encoding is, when it's used, how it's used. If you've noticed, guys, I'm asking you what, how, and when. If you can answer or ask those questions on your notes. What is this gradient coil? Why do we have this gradient coil? Your brain is going to permanently keep that information organized in a way that as you move through the program, you're going to be able to not only understand it, but you're going to be able to connect all the dots and it's going to make sense. This program is very different than any schooling you've ever had. How many of you guys know the cramming sessions that you did in high school or other college courses where you last minute crammed, quickly looked at the material, and did great on the test? You guys have all experienced that. Is that going to work in this program? No. You want to know why? Because you're learning concepts. You're learning how things work. And because there's levels of complexity to how these things work, simply memorizing will not work. You've got to understand it. So going back to your note taking and reviewing these slides, reviewing this lecture recording later on in your own time, where you can sit down and look at your notes and take the time to really, really plug in. Ask yourself, what are these things? Why do we have them? And if you can't answer beyond the why, other than spatial encoding, that's perfect. That's exactly where I want you to be, because we're going to build on that. Does that make sense? You can memorize these terms, and that will allow you to go probably the fourth week of this class. But as we progress, memorizing is not going to work, because you're going to have to explain how it works. You can memorize how it works, but it's also connected to safety. It's connected to physics on a deeper level. It's like a bowl of spaghetti. You've got a bowl of noodles. Every noodle is touching another noodle. The one front end of one noodle is touching the back end of another noodle. That's why studying MRI is so hard. And there's different levels of complexity, but be patient with yourselves. Take the little bites that I give you guys and keep building, and it all makes sense. Vince, go ahead.
I think I just found as soon as you called my name, I think I found it. But just to clarify, so one of the questions in our assignment is, what does the coil selection directly impact? My question was, are you referring to the RF coils or the gradient coils? And I think that's the RF coils for that question, correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. If you guys are working on your assignments after we leave class and something doesn't quite make sense, or you've got a question, send me an email. Send me an email. I love it. You guys have been a great class. This is the engagement I want. I'm so sad that we're not in a real classroom, but your questions, our open dialogue is exactly what you need to pass this program and pass these classes. Keep asking the questions. You guys are doing great so far. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for you guys. You guys excited? You're learning MRI. You're changing a whole career. Yes, that is exciting. Let me make sure I didn't miss any of your guys' comments. Please remember to stay after class. Asked. Yes, I have a couple of you that I've asked to stay. We assign your Clover learning code. Mike is going to work on the back end to make sure that you guys all have your Clover learning. You have your Clover access, because we want to get you into watching those videos. A question about submitting assignments. I'd be able to copy and paste the text into a Google Doc and bullet point. Yeah, you can do that. Remember, guys, that you want to keep all of your work original. Keep it in your own words. We do have AI detection. We do have the ability to see if you are giving me AI answers. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I'll be able to pick up on it real quick. 1 and 2, you're going to cheat yourself. It's not going to help you for your ART board exam. At the end of this program, you're going to sit for your licensing exam. It is 250 questions, about 3.5, 4 hours long. Okay. I say that to say that if you rely on AI to submit your work and get an understanding of MRI, you're not going to pass that board. And all your schooling and all your hard work would be for nothing at the end if you can't get that license. Make sense? Yeah. Question about saying, convert it to, yeah, as long as you convert it to a PDF, guys, you'll be fine. Yep, you can do that. Okay, guys, I am going to hang out. If you have any questions, Let me end this here.
And this assignment is due by the end of today or by the end of this week?
No, let's go back. Let me share my screen. Let's go back to, we're still recording. So you're going to always refer to your due date schedule, which is this link here, right? Can you see my screen? Okay. Your calendar. So we just went over week 1 and week 2 course material. Okay, we went over to the very basic intro of how we generate an MRI, what MRI is, what it uses, and the hardware. The assignment I showed earlier in the class, right? It's got assignment 1 and 2. Both of these, along with both quizzes, are going to be due next week on Monday. You got a whole week to study, right? And if you were answering those questions and following along during lecture, you essentially have your assignment done, right? Now you just kind of have to go through and look at those notes to help prepare for the quiz. Does somebody have a question? I don't know if I saw a hand or not. No? Okay. So listen, guys, technology is technology. And I do my very best to make sure that your calendar is updated and that you see your assignments, your upcoming assignments here. But sometimes it doesn't always save or cross over correctly. So I want you to look at your calendar, but also make sure that you default to a hard copy, default to this due date schedule to make sure that you're not missing anything, right? Okay. Yes. Crystal, you're going to email both myself and Michael for your Clover access. Yes, this week, Tiana was to watch the Clover. I wasn't sure when you guys were going to get that full access yet. And so it lists as, but we don't have a Clover this week. But I want you to definitely attempt to log in. Make sure that you have that login and you're navigating through Clover, and you can absolutely check out those videos early, but they're not required for this week. Mike is going to be working on getting your guys' access. Does anyone else have access to the ebook? I will look at the ebook. Did you click agreement? So not all of you guys are having troubles accessing your book. Some of you have access to your book. You have to agree. It didn't let me access the ebook yesterday. Oh, great point, Bryden. Great point. Pop-ups blocked. This is a very good point too, guys. You, as being an online course, you guys have the responsibility as students to make sure that your computer is operating on the operating system it needs to, that your applications are working, your plugins are there, your pop-ups are not blocked. Mac users specifically have built-in security systems that can block your access to Proctorio. It is your responsibility to make sure that your computer is working. It's in the school catalog as part of your agreement to being a student with Gurnick and really any online course. It is your responsibility to make sure your computer is working the way it needs to work. Thank you for sharing that about the pop-ups. I think you have pop-ups blocked. Okay, perfect. Yes, double check. I'm not going to penalize you guys this week, but this week, after this week, I am going to have expectations that you're able to get into everything, not have any technical difficulties. If you're not able to take your quiz because Proctorio is not working, I will not give you an extension or a pass for that, right? We've got to make sure that our Proctorio is installed and everything is working before we leave this week. Gianna, go ahead.
Hi, I just had a question in terms of, I know clinicals are like still like 6 months out, but I
Yeah.
do believe during orientation we briefly went over like all of the immunization requirements or like BLS certification and like drug screening. I just wanted to know if we'll get more information on like the timelines or like the deadlines that we need to have all of that done by? Because I know we want to have that like done prior to starting the
Yes.
clinicals.
Yes. So I mentioned earlier that I'm going to go over that a little bit later in the quarter, a little bit later in this class, because you guys are being bombarded with a lot of information, right? And some of these terms and studying them is completely new. So I'm going to wait as we get a little bit closer. Even when you go into 002, you're still not quite there yet for clinic. So you still have 2 more classes before you hit the clinical setting. But at the end of this quarter, I'm going to go over ABHAS, your immunization requirements, to make sure that you guys have a checklist, to make sure that you're scheduling those doctor's appointments to get your physicals done, any lab work, your quantiferin, TB that you stay. But yeah, you do have quite a bit of time to go, and I'm going to share a little bit more of those deadlines and details later in the quarter.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Do I have another question? Oh, me, yes.
Sorry, I know I asked about the quiz already, but um, when I was studying the first chapter in the textbook and taking notes, it went a lot more in depth about like atomic structure and MR active nuclei and all these things. Like, would we more so study what we went over in the lecture and cross-reference the textbook, or would we have to study like both
Great.
material?
Yep, great question. You are going to study both, and your textbook is going to dive deeper, and we are also going to dive deeper in class. So how do you navigate? Which are you studying? You're going to first read the chapter to get an idea of what it's talking about. Some terms you're going to read and you're going to have no idea what they're talking about, right? Then you're going to come to class and you're going to see the presentation slides and what we talk about. That is what you're going to be responsible to know for your quizzes. I would never ask any in-depth questions from the textbook if I didn't cover it in class. 1, that's not fair, and 2, it doesn't really help you learn, right? So yeah, now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. But get an idea. Great question. Get an idea. Get yourself familiar. Skim through those chapter readings, guys, because you'll see that, again, we're learning a new language. We're learning a foreign language, and we've got to do that in set blocks and little chunks at a time. Elizabeth, go ahead.
I signed up for the CPR BLS certification. Is that okay? Or
That is okay. Know that if you sign up early, it expires. You have to do it every year. So if you don't start clinic for another 6 months, you're going to kind of essentially put extra pressure on you to re-get that, because it's an annual thing, right? So you'll be in clinics, you potentially scrambling to take it again to make sure that you don't expire before that year. It's okay that you did it. I would prefer that you wait a little bit so that it's a little bit more fresher right before you start the clinic. There's also, guys, there's a lot of websites that offer BLS, but you want to make sure that you are with the American Heart Association, okay? Any of these other entities, it's not that they're not qualified, but the school and the hospitals and clinics have a certain requirement that it needs to be I'm 99% sure it's the American Heart Association. So make sure that if you do it early, which I don't quite recommend, that it's with the right facility.
Yeah, I did it because I know that in orientation they said that we should have it for the entirety of our program.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have. It's good to have, but just keep in mind that it's an annual thing, so that if you get it like this week, you're gonna push up when you have to renew it, you know. So it's okay to wait a couple weeks, you know, and get it scheduled and get the idea. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is it Bardo? Oh, I don't know who was first, Tiana or Bardo. Sorry, guys, I missed that.
It was Bardo. Bardo was
Okay,
first.
thank you.
Hello, yes, it is Bardo. What's our class name? I was trying to get the, I believe it's called Complio, and it gives you like a drop-down option on which class you are.
There you go. I was having a hard time hearing you at first. If you want to, I think you adjusted your mic and now I can hear you much better. You wanted to know the name of what?
Of our class, because on Complio, there's like a drop down option that asks you what class you're in. It's like ASMRI, like 16, 17, or something like that.
Yes. So ASMRI is your associates in MRI. That is your program. Now, when it has the date 2026-17, that is your cohort. That lets us know when you started and what group you're in. But you just need to know that you are an ASMRI student. And if anybody asks you what your cohort is, you're either going to be Sacramento or San Jose. But we do have distance education, meaning some students are in Florida. They're still going to fall under the San Jose cohort group campus.
Okay. And 17 would be the Sacramento one?
I can look real quick. I can give you the number. You guys just started, so I don't have it memorized yet. Where are you?
Sacramento.
You're Sacramento. So your official long name, we've got a short name, ASMRI, but your long name of the program and your cohort is SA Sacramento, ASMRI, CA designating California. Like I said, I have some out-of-state students, and it's 2026-19.
-19. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Tiana.
Yeah, I had a similar question regarding the quantiferon test. I
Yes.
noticed here in the email it says that you're supposed to take it in December only. Is that similar to like the CPR where it's like annual?
Yes. Great question. Yes, these are annual requirements. And you're in the program for 18 months. So you're going to do an initial, and then you're going to have to do it again to fulfill your clinical requirements. So that's why there's a timeline. So I know that it's ideal to have that BLS the entire program. Just keep in mind that it is an annual. So if you do it too early, it's not that it's wrong or bad, but you're going to have to renew that faster than maybe your class will have to. And sometimes it might be easier to get into a group for renewal than doing it on your own.
Gotcha. Okay. I did have like labs scheduled yesterday, and then when I got the email, because I managed to get in before all that, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
no.
it's not going to hurt you. It just may add to your list, your to-do list later on before you hit the clinic or right before you
Gotcha.
get to the clinical portion. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions, guys? You guys have been amazing. Amazing, amazing.
Oh, so sorry. I had a question.
Yeah.
So in regards to again the BLS and CPR certifications, when I'm trying to sign up, those are separate. And I know that during the orientation they just said, call up or reach out to them and ask them what are the ones that nurses do, and that's the one I want to do. But should I just click like the one that says BLS and that is a CPR one combined, or
If you want, feel free to send me a screenshot so I can definitely let you know for sure that you are selecting the right one. There is basic, and I know BLS is basic life support, but there is actually even a more basic before that, where it's just like either CPR or BLS. And that goes along with what I was saying. Make sure that it's the American Heart Association and that you're going with the right program to take to make sure that you are getting the one that you need for the clinic.
Okay.
So it is going to be the BLS/CPR is the title
Okay.
that you're looking for. But to make sure, if you want to send me a screenshot email so I can say, yes, this is definitely the one, then you could do that too.
Okay. And then another question is for the readings. For I finally actually got access to the ebook.
Yes.
I'm
Good. Perfect.
But for the readings, is there like a follow-on kind of thing? Like is there like like where you would want us to be, or are we just kind of gauging per like chapter?
You're just going to initially just get familiar with the new language that we're learning, right? I want you to kind of read through it. Some of the more complex, like we talked about the layers of onion, right? We're not at the third layer of the onion for the first week, right? Even though the textbook in chapter 1 goes into layer 3 and 4. Stick to the lecture slides, stick to the basics. You are going to be responsible for layer 3 and 4 as it's introduced in chapter 1, but that's later in the quarter as we continually build. So just read get familiar, let your brain get familiar with the terminology and the language. And again, you'll only be responsible for what is presented in class for what you'll be tested on. The book is
Okay.
also going to align with what I'm saying, but chapter one's going a little too fast for my liking of how I want to introduce it to you guys, right? Because there's a lot. If you've already looked at chapter one, you can see there's a lot there, right? We've got to slow down a little bit, and then we're going to rapidly build our momentum, and we're going to run in this course. But for week 1 and 2, even week 3, we're going to speed walk right through those chapters, which is why some of your assigned reading on the weeks that we progress, I still have chapter 1 listed because there's still so much to cover for those chapters.
Perfect. And then we're still looking at the one that's just MRI at a glance, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. I'll have it. Let's jump down to week 1. Sometimes I'll specify on the reading. I'll either say either MRI at a glance or MRI in practice. In this particular case for week 1, it's only chapter 1. And again, it's going to be both. So what's nice, guys, with having both is that one, you get the option and ability to have a different author explain something differently. Sometimes the author is going to expound and go deeper, and sometimes this author is not, right? So it's nice to have both books to have that presentation because everyone's brain works a little bit differently. I will say that MRI at a glance is a little bit deeper, a little bit more complex with the same definition concept as MRI in practice, but then later on in the book, it flip-flops. So stick to what I have in the weekly instructional breakdown. If I have both, definitely be in both. Tiana.
Yeah, I had another question about the immunizations.
Yes.
After you placed your order, it says that we should be able to see a list of requirements and begin uploading our documents, but I didn't see any option to do that. Is that something that pops up later?
Is this in the ABHAS login website? Is that
For
what you're referring?
Complio? Oh, is it different?
Yes. So you're going to upload all your documents into ABHAS. That's going to be a separate login. You guys may not have access to that login yet because we're just starting. I don't know if Mike is still here.
Gotcha. So it's not Complio then. It's an entirely different one.
Whatever Mike and Bob mentioned in orientation, if you don't have access to uploading documents now, give it a couple days. And if you still don't have access, send me an email.
Okay.
Oh, there's Mike. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, ask the question one more time. Sorry.
I know in the email, gosh, I just read it. After we order our package off Complio, right, it says that we should be able to see a list of requirements to begin uploading our documents, but I didn't see anything pop up to do so.
Okay, that will probably come a little bit later still. Once you order them, then they'll start populating. We usually need to get the campus that email out to you guys. That's when you'll see it.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, not a
Okay.
problem.
This is just as I suspected, Tiana. So yeah, give it a couple days and wait, and everything will kind of fall into place. I do give you guys grace this first week as we kind of get our feet wet on course expectations, multiple class loads, due dates, and the biggest component, technology. Make sure your computers are working. By next week, if you tell me you can't take your quiz because your Proctorio is not working, not going to have as much grace, right? We got to make sure that all that stuff is working this week. Sydney mentioned Clover. Are there going to be assignments due in Clover? No, there will not be specific assignments due in Clover, but part of your requirement on some weeks is to watch those video recordings, and you're encouraged to take those quizzes, but your quiz grade, they're for practice on Clover. They're not going to be recorded in Moodle or Jeji. Mike, go ahead.
I think we have most of the class still here, but I do have everyone's Clover Learning access right here. Do you want to do it right now?
Yeah. Do you want to share your screen? I would love everyone to have their access.
Yeah,
Let me make
do you guys
sure.
want to just hurry and do that real quick? Are you guys okay with that?
Okay, let's do that. I would prefer that. Mike, before you jump in, let me make sure that I haven't missed any comments with any other questions. Elizabeth says, I believe that's where we do quizzes. You will not be doing graded Clover quizzes. Okay, we do our quizzes in Moodle. Why do we not see our quiz in Moodle yet? Because that opens after lecture. Everything will be completed in Moodle, guys. Clover Learning is additional support, meaning videos, introductory videos, and practice quizzes. Your actual weekly quizzes that are due for a grade will be in Moodle under each week. So I want to make sure that we've got that. I believe you said earlier in the lecture that if we didn't have GE classes, to send you an email to double. Yes, Riley, send me an email if you don't have your GE courses on your Moodle dashboard and you know that you are supposed to be in a GE class. Please send me an email. You can also CC Mike on that email to make sure that you have all your courses on your Moodle dashboard. Our login info for Clover is just our Gurnik Moodle user. Michael, we're going to get into that right now. Mike is going to introduce us and get us all set up for Clover. Give me just 1 minute for that.
If I can log in, everybody.
No, you got us excited, Mike, thinking we're going to do it. Okay, I'm also having some problems with the ebook. Riley, are you still having problems with your ebook?
No, I just figured it out. Thank you.
Yes, perfect. Okay. What test is that called again at Tiana? I'm not sure. I'll let you
I
guys
got
answer.
that question answered. She answered it. I
Oh,
just
okay.
misheard it and she just clarified. I'm good there. Thank you.
Got it. Okay, yeah. I want to make sure that I'm not missing any of you guys here. Ty made a good observation. Chapter 1 in MRI at a glance is short, but it's dense. It's dense. You'll see why, guys, that I'm giving you guys bite-sized pieces as we begin intro 001, and we're going to progress quickly. MRI is very dense. Don't let that overwhelm you. Don't be discouraged or frustrated. Give yourself time and patience. We're going to do it together. I'm going to support you in every way I can to make sure that it makes sense. Okay. But read the chapter and go over the terms because again, we're learning a new language. Just try this thing again. Tahani. It worked, but because there's separate tabs, it's the second one. Justin, great observation. He just said it worked, but it's because there's two separate tabs. The second one worked. Sometimes, guys, when Moodle gets copied over and it's built and copied, sometimes things can get a little wonky. So make sure if you see two acknowledgements, I apologize. Go ahead and acknowledge both. And if you still have trouble accessing your ebook, send me an email. Will we receive the email for all the immunizations? Megan, yes, you should receive some correspondence from the administration team. You'll see emails from Mike with that as well as we progress. I'm also going to touch on it in this course, but later. We're going to go over those requirements for immunizations and your BLS and all that later on in this quarter as we move closer to the clinical time. We'll create the account. Compile. Okay. Isabella, go ahead.
Hi. So under general forum, when you have the different discussions, I think you have the class Discord. I don't know if I missed that earlier. I think it was discussed. I only see the welcome to MR. I don't see the class Discord.
Thank you for bringing that up again. Yes, the reason why that is because the campus has separated Sacramento from San Jose. So all of my Sacramento students and classmates that post in the general forum, unfortunately, San Jose won't be able to see those. You'll always see mine. Mine are always going to go into both, but you won't be able to see it. This is why you don't see class Discord, because Vince posted it just for his cohort. But if you scroll back, Isabella, Vince posted, or one of your classmates posted it in the chat here, where you can click on that link and you can still join.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Oh, there's another thing too, guys. I offered my services to join. I didn't know if you wanted an exclusive student Discord, but some of you expressed that as your instructor, it would be helpful and you wanted me to join. So I will join that. I don't really know how it works, but I can figure it out. And if you guys want to kick me out or at any time, just kick me out. But make sure that we're professional. We're not, being mean to our classmates, and make sure that we've got the right etiquette. Oh, thank you, Vince, for putting that link in again. Sydney, go ahead.
So for the Complio stuff, I'm a little confused. Do we have to wait until we get an email to make the account, or do we make the account now? Because I saw someone say it was due by the 8th. So
You're going to want to log in. Did you get the email explaining to create and log in?
I don't think so. Is it sent through our Gurnick email or like our personal email?
No, always your Gurnick, guys. Always.
Okay, I'll check.
Yeah.
If I didn't get anything, do I just email you?
Send me an email and you include Mike
Okay.
on that, because he's going to handle, that access, the administration. But include me on the email so I can keep track and make sure that you have that access too. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So great point. I'm glad that you bring that up, whether it's a school email or personal email. Always work through your school email, not your personal. Okay. And in addition to that, make sure that nothing is in your junk or your spam folder, even in your school email. Double check those. Same here. No email received. Okay. Double check, guys. Double check your email. Some of you guys have received it. Some of you haven't. Check your spam settings. Make sure it didn't get filtered out. Make sure you're using your your school email, not your personal email. Mike, did instructions, that was on the initial email, right? For the Complio?
Yeah, the San Jose campus may not have sent that out yet. So
Okay.
some of you may have it, some of you may not. I know that Sacramento is a little more on par with sending out the Complio versus San Jose. So give them like 2-3 more days and then they'll probably send that out.
Okay.
If you think of it this way too, San Jose campus is by far lots larger than the Sacramento campus. So
yeah, so give it a couple days, guys. And if you don't have that email by the end of this week, today's Tuesday, if you don't have it by Friday, shoot me an email and include Mike on that email. Yeah, Jada, make sure you check by Friday. If you don't have it, that email by then, send me an email and include Mike. And in the header, guys, put Complio. Another thing too, for your emails, I've got 130 of you guys roughly. It's hard for me to memorize everyone's cohort, whether they're in my intro class or whether they're in my other courses. So when you shoot me an email, if you don't mind, please just put in, I'm in this class and I'm in this cohort. That way I can navigate Moodle faster for you and get a quicker response. If you don't, it's okay. I will still respond to you, but it just makes it easier if you can do that. Okay, are you ready, Mike, with Clover?
I hope so. We'll see.
Did you get logged in?
Yeah, I did. We're good.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, guys, so that Mike can present. Remember, this is for your Clover learning. We have no required assignments that will be submitted through Clover. No quizzes that are going to be submitted through Clover for a grade. However, the supplemental videos are a great illustration on some of the key concepts that we go over. So I really want you guys watching those. This week, we don't have any assigned videos. The coming weeks, you will have assigned videos. The quizzes are optional practice. They're not the same as our Moodle quizzes, okay? Okay, Mike, go ahead.
All right, everybody. First off, welcome. I apologize for missing your new student orientation there at the beginning. But yes, if you do have any questions, please email me. Let me know. Let me help you out, those types of things. You'll probably hear a lot from me or at least see emails from me. If you do, please don't ignore me. Even though I'm a little strange, don't ignore me. Okay. Is everybody able to get to Clover Learning websites? Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you able to get to this point? Okay. Once you're here, what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to the sign in option. Okay. Click on the sign in option. It should take you to this point. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to click Redeem Access Code. Redeem Access Code. And then your screen will look like this. Give me a thumbs up if you're following me. Give you a couple minutes to get there. Perfect. Okay. For right now, go ahead, put in your first name, your last name. Use your Gurnick email. Okay. Use your Gurnick email. Do not use your personal emails. The reason why is because if you have support issues or maybe you get locked out, something like that, they're going to ask you for your school. They're going to ask you for your school email. Okay? So use your Gurnick email in that first one. Your alternate email, go ahead and use your personal. This is if you get locked out as well. Thumbs up when you've got that. Perfect. Okay, now here's what I recommend. Grab a piece of paper, and I know all of the computer engineers out there are going to hate me for this, but grab a piece of paper, put this in your notes, write this down. Okay, write this down. It will make your life a lot easier. Okay, go ahead and create a password right now, and I want you to write down your password on this paper. Okay, like I said, all those computer engineers out there, you're going to hate me for this, and I apologize, but write down your password. Your username will be your Gurnick email. Okay, username will be your Gurnick email. Your password is whatever you come up with. Everyone's good to that point? Perfect. Make sure it's right there. Very good. Okay, now this is going to have everyone's redeem codes on it. Please be patient. Make sure you choose yours. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is go through, find your name, and I know I don't have everyone's name shown here on the screen. Go through, find your name, and here's your redeem code on the side. I want you to write down that redeem code first before you enter it into Clover Learning.
Mike, would you mind zooming in just a tad,
Yes.
please?
You can also zoom in if you just hover your mouse on top of it, and then on your mouse pad, you can zoom in and shift it yourself.
Let me go to there. There we go. So here's the first top half. Okay, remember, write down your redeem code. If you have access issues and you need to get a hold of Clover Learning support, they're going to ask you what your redeem code is. Don't lose it. And remember, your code goes with your name. Okay, your code goes with your name. Are we ready to scroll down? Give me a thumbs up if we're ready to scroll down. Okay, gonna scroll down a little bit. Your name goes to your code. Your name goes to your code. Once you have your code and everything's written down, go ahead and put in your redeem code into Clover Learning. And then it should open for you. And then I want to show you a few things within Clover Learning. I'm going to email your individual codes out to you as well. I want you to write this down, yes, but I'm still going to email it out because I don't want you to lose these codes. You're going to keep this code for the remainder of the program. And I think your access actually stays good for, I want to say, a year even afterwards. So when you go to practice or get ready for ART, Clover Learning is an excellent resource. They have a lot of mock exams on here that you can practice with. They're great. I love them. Moving down, there's the rest. Yeah, Ty, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know if I missed something, but when I go to hit the button to redeem access code, it won't let me hit it. There's like a cross over it. Maybe I must have done something wrong.
Yeah, hang out in just a second. We'll take a look at it. Who's logged in? Give me a thumbs up if you're logged in. Good. So a number of us are. Perfect.
One other thing, side note, guys, while some of you are getting logged in, I'm just taking attendance. When you log into Zoom, please make sure you have your first name and your last name as you registered for class so that I don't accidentally mark you absent when you are actually here.
Can you get a second, Michael? Could you go back to the top? I tried to redeem my code and it says that it's already been redeemed. I just want to make sure I didn't look down the wrong one.
I am also having the same problem.
Sometimes that will happen, everybody, and we have to look at it and we have to look at them individually. So when everybody redeems their code, what happens is I email Clover Learning and then they send me a list of the redeemed codes, and then we have to verify the list with the student. So that could be an issue too. So hang out for just a second on that one. Yes, and then remember, don't put the you don't put the dashes in there.
Oh wait, it was the other way around for me. It worked with the dashes.
It worked with the dashes. Okay, yeah, put the dashes in then. Sorry, it's always different when I get in there. So okay, now that you've got your redeem codes, let me show you what it looks like within Clover Learning. Hopefully my password was changed and it will now work. Okay, so this is the homepage to Clover Learning. All of the lecture videos, all of the things that Esther will have you watch will populate under this section called Learn. Okay, if you click on it, my videos are all MRI related. When you first go into learn, over here on your right-hand side, there are a bunch of different modalities: ultrasound, X-ray, nuclear medicine, MRI. If you click MRI, then it will show you just MRI. Okay? These are all of the topics that you can see within MRI. Legal issues, procedures, infection, patient care, safety, instrumentation, so on. Okay? If it's not working for you, hang out for just a second. Just to jump into it, MRI instrumentation. This is the platform that it looks like when you click on it. Originally, they're all going to be closed like this. If you hit the down caret arrows, it will open them up. And all you do is you double click the video, you click on the video, it will open, and you can go ahead and play it.
Hey, everybody.
Okay. Once you do that, there are quizzes at the end that you can practice with. Okay. You can go ahead and take these quizzes as much as you want. And then if you ever have questions on the content of the video or maybe the quiz, you're just like, hey, these shim systems, this is crazy. I don't understand it. Go ahead and email us. Let us know that you're struggling with that concept, and then we can do extra tutoring on the side for that. Okay? Sound fair? Okay, Andrea, go ahead real quick, and then we'll try to address some other issues. Go ahead.
Quick question. So for the Clover learning, we're kind of working independently on all of these on our own, or do I follow it along with like Moodle and each lesson that we're going through?
Every instructor is going to do it a little bit different. Okay, so Esther is going to have you do it one way. Raj will do it one way. Lexi will do it one way. Kevin will do it another way. So everyone will do it a little bit different. They'll use very specific videos as well related to their course. So let me give you an example. When you guys take patient care next quarter, Megan will have you take care of a lot of the patient care content. Okay, so she's going to have you probably watch all of these videos. And then you'll have to take the quiz, and then she's going to try to actually give you points for the quiz. So every instructor is going to do it a little bit different. Okay, some of the videos are great for what we use, and some of the videos, not so much. Some of the things we want to teach you versus what Clover Learning says. Okay, now here's the interesting thing with Clover Learning. They will use a different vocabulary than what we use in this class, especially when you start to talk about transverse and the longitudinal plane. Okay, they're going to say it like this and this versus like this and this. It can get very confusing fast. So when you're watching the videos, just be careful. And Esther is great at explaining the vocabulary between the two classes and the videos. Okay? Yeah, not a problem. All right, everybody. Questions? Who was able to get in and who wasn't able to get in?
I was able to get in.
Okay. Esther, do you have anything else for them?
No, I think that is it. I had asked, let me see if you guys are still here. I asked David Nguyen to stay after class. David, if you just want to send me an email, then you and I can chat. David Nguyen, please send me an email.
Yes, of course.
What was that?
Yes, of course. I will
Yes.
send it.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. And then that is it. One of your classmates just asked when and where these recordings are going to be. I'm still recording now. So the minute I stop recording this lecture, Zoom will take a couple hours to process that. I will then upload that link into week 1 and week 2 so that you guys can access the recording. So it usually takes a couple hours right after lecture, but it will be under each week. So I'll send a general forum letting you know as soon as that video is uploaded. So please, please check the general forum, guys. And of course, email me if you have any questions. But if you have Clover access and you have no other questions, I have recorded your attendance and you're free to go. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
guys. Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Yes, Andrea, Andrea, 1 second. Fasel raised his hand right before you. So Fasel, go ahead.
Hey, so regarding on the recorded lectures, we'll be able to access that throughout the quarter, right? Like towards the
Yes.
next and everything. Okay.
Every week you'll have access to the lecture recordings. Yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And the other question was regarding proctorio. Like during orientation on Moodle, there was a process and steps on downloading the plugin and then using it on a practice quiz. That should be enough, right? Because I seen that there was other options or like more of it being reiterated on your portion of Moodle. I'm thinking the first part should be good, right? I'm just trying to prepare for this upcoming quiz, you know.
Yes, the first part, yeah, that should be sufficient. The reason why I kind of emphasis and hit on that a little bit harder is that you know, the last minute, if you log in at 11:20 p.m. and it's due at 11:59 and then I get an email that Proctorio is just kicking you out or not working, then you know, that's a little problematic that we want to avoid. The thing is that also, and I want to make sure we're still recording. Yes, that being an online course, Moodle and Proctorio has their own built-in settings to ensure academic integrity. Meaning, if you are on a hotspot, cell phone hotspot, if you are on a roaming data on a hotspot, if you are using a specific VPN or not, or you're on a public network, you will be kicked out. You will be kicked out mid-quiz if Proctorio recognizes that you are not on a secure network. That maintains the technical integrity of ensuring that there's no malware, there's no viruses, you know, so it's going to kick you out. So if I get an email when the quiz is due at 11:30 saying, hey, I got kicked out, and you're driving in a car on your cell phone hotspot, am I going to open that quiz for you and give grace and allow you to retake it? Probably not. But so that's why I hit on that a little bit harder. But I will give you grace. I will
Thank you.
definitely give you guys grace. So don't worry, you're doing great.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Andrea was next, and then Gianna, we'll get to you real quick. Go ahead, Andrea.
Yeah, so following up with Proctorio, just wanted to see if on my dashboard it doesn't show as it was completed, but I did complete it. So I wanted to know how to fix that.
Let me go into your quiz right now and see. When you don't click on the quiz to start it, but go ahead and open the quiz, and if Proctorio is correctly installed, it's going to allow you to proceed. Otherwise, it's going to give you a pop-up that you have to download the extension and it won't let you in. Let me know, and then we'll see from there. While you're doing that, Gianna, go ahead.
This is just a question on the quiz. Do we get our score right after completing it?
You will see your score right after completing it in Moodle, and then I will upload it. I'm pretty quick with grades, guys. I like to make sure that I get them in quick. So within 24 hours is a turnaround time. Give me a little leeway this first week or two, but it'll be in Jeji. Jeji will be your final grade book. Why do we see two different grades? Why do we see grades in Moodle and grades in Jeji? Jeji is where your transcript is going to be pulled from. Those are your final grades. Moodle is the interface for instructor students. Sometimes I'll override Moodle and give you back an extra point, or sometimes I don't typically give extra credit. Sometimes I do in certain circumstances, which is why then you'll see that on Jeji and you won't really see it in Moodle. So what I do is I manually take all the grades in Moodle and I input them into Jeji. Yeah, Jeji will be the end all be all for your course grade. So double check Jeji to make sure that your course grade is where it needs to be in passing.
Okay. And then the passing grade for our quizzes, is it 8 out of 10?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Andrea, were you able to see that Proctorio extension installed correctly?
I believe it is because it's on my extensions. Like when I click on the little extensions part, it says secure exam proctor on it.
Perfect. And it didn't give you any warnings that you need to install the plugin or anything? Okay, so then you should be good to go. I encourage you not to wait till the very last hour to take your first quiz, just in case something is wonky. That way I can troubleshoot it with you. Again, if there's any technical glitches, screenshot that and immediately email it to me so that I can then quickly troubleshoot with you to get it working.
Okay, so even if it doesn't show as like 100% complete on the course part of the proctored quizzes, it's installed and I'm good to go.
Yes.
Okay, just double checking.
Yes. No, I appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah, because I just noticed mine also doesn't say completed, but I did download it and I did have all that other stuff like ready to go.
Okay, perfect. As long as you guys are not getting like an error warning that like it's not installed correctly. Guys, too, remember on Mac users, double check your security settings. Make sure that your Mac security settings are not blocking Proctorio from working. Make sure we don't have any blocked pop-ups, right? Make sure that those two can communicate freely, because if Proctorio can't, it will kick you out mid-quiz. Yeah, but don't worry, I'm here. I'm here. I'm not going to throw you guys to the wolves and leave you out. And no, we're going to work through it together and make sure that it's fixed and corrected. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? No, I'm going to stop the recording so that that video can start processing so I can get it up for you guys. So I'm going to stop the recording.